Hey, it's Paul. Welcome back to B&B Talk. You know what I need you to do? Hit that subscribe button. Let's get into things. The first thing we see is we see Maya, and she's bringing Rick up to speed on her conversation with her father. Now, she's optimistic, almost blindly optimistic about her relationship with her father, but just when you think that she's kind of sucked in, she says, you know, if it doesn't work out, she can handle it. We see Allie, and she's brooding over the notion of freedom, tolerance, and acceptance, you know, as she hears about the plans for the California Freedom Movement. And her mom encourages Allie and tells her that she's got to go and stop what's going on at Forrester. So we know that something's coming. Then we see Steffi, Ridge, and Caroline, and they think that they've actually convinced Allie to back off, and they think that she's made progress along those lines, and they don't know what's coming. While they're doing fittings, Allie shows up and she observes a model. Now she's looking really curiously at the model, and then we find out that the model is one of Maya's friends, and she's transgender as well. And when offered an introduction, Allie refuses that introduction, and she sort of makes up an excuse as to why, saying that everyone's busy. And but you can just see her glaring at this model, and she's fuming. We then see Nicole, and she asks her dad if he meant what he said, speaking about all the things that he said to Maya. And she reminds him that it wasn't long before that, only, you know, in fact, less than an hour, that he was calling Maya a freak, and said, you know, she told him flat out she doesn't buy his whole 180 switcheroo. So Julius then says that he's trying, and he says that it would be beneficial if they all came together as a family. So he's sticking to his story, and we don't really know what it is he's up to, but we know there's definitely been a change in his attitude. And he said that when talking about Maya, that he sent her away because he didn't know the kind of people that she would associate with. And then he ends up surmising that he was right, because Maya ended up going to jail. So he's sticking by his reasons for not wanting her around. But then at one point he says that, you know what, he should actually go speak with Rick, and then he abruptly gets up and leaves. Now, Vivian's afraid that Julius is going to be so blunt with Rick that it's going to put him off, and she reveals that when she's being pressed by Nicole. Nicole asks if she thinks that Julius is being honest with Maya, and Vivian thinks that spending time with Maya might help him, and she points out that he's trying to see the good in Maya and what she can bring to their lives. Now, we see Julius, and he meets Rick, and he asks him what kind of a man wants to make a life with a woman like Maya. And, you know, Rick is a bit put off, but he doesn't get fazed. And Rick explains to him, in fact, the tradition behind the portrait, saying that Stephanie's picture was up there because she was married to his father, and she was the matriarch of the house, and he thought it was appropriate to put Maya's picture there. Rick does get into the story of how he found out, and he tells Julius, and in fact he tells him that he wasn't even proud of how he reacted because of the way Spencer Publications, you know, put the story out there. And Julius seems to understand this, and but he tells Julius that he loves Maya and he's committed to her. And Julius asks Rick if he's straight, and Rick says absolutely he's straight, and he asks Julius if he's really trying to accept Maya. So we see a lot of concern on both their parts, and the meeting goes a little bit different than expected. And Julius says that he wants to know if Rick is committed, and he basically asks him like a doting father what his intentions are. And Rick says that he sees a future with Maya, and that pleases Julius, who says he wants to have his family back. So the meeting goes a lot better than expected. Now, the last thing we see Darla, and she is talking to Allie, and she tells her that tomorrow is the day of reckoning, and that she should take away from them what they took away from her. So she's being urged, obviously, by the voices in her head to go out and do something dramatic. So we'll have to wait. We know it's coming, and we'll have to see whether she's successful or not. Anyways, that's B&B Talk. It's Paul. Don't forget to follow us on social media and check out the Periscope account. Thanks a lot for checking us out. Have a great day.